In band.
Well, he'll get here when he gets here. Okay, so let's call to order the Town of Lloyd Town Board Workshop meeting, and I'll ask Councilperson Rizzo to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we got a pretty full agenda tonight, so on a lot of the resolutions, I will kind of summarize, unless we really need to dig into them. But this is our this is, okay, so today is, again, you'll see on the front is the budget dates, and you can see the date's October 9th preliminary budget, October 15th, it gets filed with the town clerk, 16th is the public hearing for the budget, 30th is the public hearing on the tax override, November 6th, and then November 20th is when we have to adopt the final budget by. And tonight, in front of all the town board members have gotten their tentative budget, right? Okay, so that's the process. Very quickly, the tentative budget, right now we're over the tax cap by some $791,000, so.
700?
791,000, almost 800, Mike. So we have a lot of work to do. And just for the public awareness, because the cap gets set by the state, but you know, New York State workers' comp is up 15%, New York State retirement is up 20%, and New York State retirement for police is up 20%, and New York State retirement's up 15%. So those three things right there are pretty big hitters right off the top. Then also liability insurance is up 14%. So a lot of insurance things factor in here, probably make up a good 15% of that overage already. So I just want to make everybody aware that those are some of the struggles that all the department heads are up against, struggles we're up against, and we'll work through it, and I'm sure we'll find things to move around, but it's going to be a challenge, so we'll make sure everybody's focused and aware of that.
Now, are certain items are not included in the cap, right?
Right, but not the ones I mentioned.
Not, all the ones you mentioned are still in the
Yes.
cap?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Things that aren't included are like the fire district and a few others. Anybody have any of the town board have any questions on that before we move forward?
Yeah, I would say this, that everybody has worked pretty diligently on it, and they've, cut about what they could cut at this point. So we all have to just sort of stay with it, and thank you, ladies, for all you've done to this point.
Yeah, so, yeah, like you say, a lot of work. So, also we want to, I think, so we're going to move forward, and we're going to set the public hearing for the tax cap override for October 30th, 2024, so I would need a motion for that, or do you have a resolution later? There's a resolution later?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll hold off on that then. So why don't we just start off with the reports? And Margaret, since it's budget day, anything else that I missed on the budget?
I don't think so, though we did have a lot of, increased costs that are out of our control.
Right.
And I think most of the department heads were very reasonable with what they requested. So, we're really going to have to look at these numbers next week.
Okay.
We'll all get a chance to digest everything.
Yeah, and I need input from the town board. I know last year, we got under the cap with the work that myself and Margaret and Kendra and the team did with the department heads, but I really need some ideas also from the town board. Okay, well now we'll move forward. Next is building and zoning. Dave Barton.
for the bonds. Okay, that's fine. Whatever you need. Thank you. I'll make my presentation short, 'cause I know you have a very long agenda. I did meet with the gentleman, work on Drainage Committee first. I did meet with the gentleman on White Street. We've come up with a plan for this winter. He's gonna disconnect that drain hose, so the water won't, shoot out into the street. It'll just sheet down that wall. Then we'll have to figure out how that happens after that, because he has the same situation as the other side of that hill over on Christopher, where he's on the opposite side of that rock, and it's all rock, behind Peter's house and whatnot. That whole hill is just all rock up the top. So he's actually in a low area. There's a drain there now, and that drain right now discharges onto White Street in sort of a point location. He and I spoke, and he's going to make it more of a
Right,
spread.
just make it sheet
spread.
flow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did set up a meeting for the New Paltz drainage that we worked on, so we're probably not going to get through that ditch this year unless it comes sooner. I have a meeting with the last parcel owner for the easement on October the 14th.
Okay, and the other two are in agreement, right?
100% in agreement. All we have to do is craft the, I have to figure out with Sean how we do, the actual description.
Right.
A lot of deeds now have GPS coordinates, and I can do them, down to the sub 2 centimeter range. So, that's about, I've spoken to Patty Brooks about this. That's about what she's getting. So, 2 centimeters is about an inch offset, so
Okay.
pretty tight.
Yeah.
On your agenda tonight, there are two purchases that Frank and I worked on together. One is for the building department, and one is for buildings and grounds. Both those vehicles, I think Frank, the buildings and grounds one is a 2011. Does that sound right? The other one for my department is 2014. Both are approaching 100,000 miles and are started to nickel and dime us. The one from my department needs a new catalytic converter. And a quote I got just about a month ago was about $2,500 just for that. So on a 10-year-old vehicle. What?
Yeah,
Steal one, that's funny.
yeah, and I think the one we put off for 2 years now.
Yeah, the other one, it's time, and actually, the good part about the one for Frank's guys is that it'll be a 250. It'll come with a plow setup right from the factory, and then we'll buy a plow locally. Both vehicles come with a spray and bed liner, so you can dirt, mulch, whatever you need, get them in the back without shredding it. And then there'll be 3 vehicles for auction to offset some of those costs. One is the current vehicle for buildings and grounds. One is for my department. Actually, 2 are for my department. One's the White Explorer that's sitting out there, and the other one is the pickup in the parking lot. We had really good numbers last month, which is surprising. Usually September, things start to sort of slow down. I'm going to call it good weather, but could be anything. We also had 3 court cases, one of which was withdrawn because the applicant did the right thing, and 2 went through fines. So are there any questions? Yeah.
You're buying a new vehicle?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have money set aside for that?
Yep. Yeah, it's all set up. There is money that was in the budget for next year. And then Kendra has money for both vehicles out of, you have to ask Kendra. It was a lot of math. Unexpended. It'll come out of unexpended.
She had unexpended put away for that,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
She's had his for 2 years, I believe.
Yep.
But it's like everything, we're over budget, so we got to scrutinize everything.
Yeah, the other end of it, you said it before, Dave, and I know it's been a struggle for many, many years. The cap has been difficult. Ultimately, the sort of focus to stay under the cap will, and I think will soon start to reduce services to people because we won't be able to, buy new equipment or whatever, just do the day-to-day stuff that people rely on us for. So, and the other end of that is, even though, there might be a number that is over the cap, everyone should remember that over the cap piece is spread out across the town, all right? If it's, I don't want to use this term because I know, you guys will work on that number, but a $700,000 budget is spread, all right? It's every parcel in town pays a piece of that. So it's not one person's going to pay $700,000 unless, John? Okay, good. Are there any
Any
questions?
questions for Dave?
No.
Okay. Thanks,
But
John.
thanks for that
I
clarification.
got you, John.
Okay, we'll move to dog control. Did Andrew send us a report? Okay, we'll get that report. Finance, well, we talked about the budget. Why don't we move forward then to highway? Mr. Klotz.
Good afternoon. Now we're finally starting to get a little caught up with my mowing and brush and stuff. Got a couple pipes we're gonna replace. One's gonna be a nightmare. It's up on Argent Drive, so thank God it's a little bit past the entrance into the
Which drive? I'm sorry.
Argent.
Argent.
Oh, Argent, okay, I got you.
It's just so rotted that road's starting to go down, so we're gonna try to get them replaced next week.
Okay.
I got the same thing up on Upper North Road, couple there. We're out, like I said, cutting brush, mowing, striping.
Striping that away.
Yeah, the stripes in town look good. They're helping out.
I'll tell you
They're
what,
actually
Rich,
helping
A
out.
lot of people comment on the striping. I know, not what you prefer to do, but thank you.
I know it's on the agenda, you wanna pave that lot this year?
Yes,
I'll let them know,
yes.
and this way they can get that done. I got my 2 trucks on here, I don't know if you noticed it.
Yes.
All right, I had a loan, we paid it off this year, so we'll just continue the same loan and I'll pay for these trucks.
So that is
Roll
the
right
same,
over.
so that's the same loan then. I didn't read it all yet, so.
Pardon?
That's the same loan that you had before? or-
Well, the money I think is exactly the same, but we're going through Green County.
Right.
This was through the
Oh, okay.
truck company last
I
time,
got you.
so.
Okay.
But the money was already in place, so we'll just roll it over. All right. That's
Any
about
questions
it.
for Rich?
And paving, you said you're done,
I'm done with my roads, yeah, except,
right?
Hey,
Your
do you-
roads are done.
A lot of questions. Do you know what the county's doing on Pancake Hollow? They chipped it or they put stone
chip
down?
sealed that, then what they call fog seal it.
Okay.
What, seal it, Rich?
Fog seal it,
Fog?
yeah. Makes everybody look, oh, look at the beautiful black top, instead of my roads were white, well, they spend the extra money to make people think it's more better.
Okay, it looked like stone on the ends to me.
I thought it was stone,
I
yeah.
thought it was stone.
Yeah. They chip, oil and chip,
They oil chip it and then,
then they put like a tack coat or fog seal on it, they call it fog seal. And it makes it look like blacktop.
but it's oil and chip.
So it's done now? What they've
I
done
think
is done?
they're fog sealing it now,
Yeah,
because
they
they
were
sealed
doing
it
that
last week or
earlier
a week
this
ago,
Oh, okay,
so,
okay.
Does it hold up any better or is it just for looks?
I don't know.
Not
They
proven
say,
yet?
yeah,
Okay.
like when we did your road,
Yeah, that was fiber mat, right? You did
that was
fiber.
basically oil and
Yeah,
chip,
that did hold up better than,
it's like Bellevue Road. It looks white. I
yeah.
could have fog sealed that, but it would have cost me 70,000,
They keep coming out with new products, though, so if they're gonna seal the road, maybe this product is gonna be a little bit better? No?
Blacktop's not like it used to be.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
nothing,
And
nothing.
it's more expensive, Mike.
The price just keeps on going up,
Right.
so.
Richie, I don't have a question, but the families we had a couple families in regards to that sign on Lorraine Meadow. So there's a sign up now for the children at play. So they just wanted to say thank you for getting that up for them.
Thank him, yeah.
Thank
They
you.
gotta prove it, so.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
And that's about it.
All right. No other questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, see the historian report in here. I don't see the chief here today.
He's a little under the weather today.
What's that?
He said he's a little under the weather today.
Okay, so his report is in here. I don't know if there's anything more to call out. A lot of details, you can see with there was a lot of events in September that they worked at, so Just for your awareness. Okay, we'll move on to recreation. Frank?
So, our adult basketball at the middle school, that'll start in about a month. We've been doing that for years. Also, wrestling dates are in there for our wrestling camp for the youth. That's in there for December and January. We had a meeting Tiffany was at last week with a group of parents about doing or enhancing our youth basketball program on Saturday, which we're going to attempt to do. So the Saturday program, which we've done in the past, we're no longer going to do that. This will be a different program that takes it over. We're hoping to have a full day, all day, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the middle school. I did put in the dates with the school district, waiting to hear back from them. Once that's done and those dates are secure, we'll put together what's going to go on during those days. It will be a town program.
Okay.
Our revenues will definitely go up. We're expecting more kids, and we're going to be able to charge more because it'll be instruction, but more games than what we were doing before. Before it was just instruction. So I'm hoping, let's say we'll use round numbers. If we took in, say, 3,000, I'm hoping to take in 10,000. Okay,
Alright,
so
that big of a deal.
I don't see no reason why not. Our expenses should be not much difference than what we've done in the past. Okay, I'm assuming we'll be doing T-shirts and some basketballs and things like that, and then we'll go from there. Right now, we just got to make sure we can secure the time from the school district.
Frank, what will drive that additional revenue? Just the fact that you're having
Well,
games?
our program that we were doing would only be like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half. We did 2 sessions. So we had roughly 60, 70 kids.
Right.
We were going for 10 weeks, and it was just mostly just instruction, first graders through 5th graders. We were only charging $30
Right.
a child. This year it could be anywhere between 100 and 125 because they're going to be playing games, and they may be there up to 3 hours, per
Okay.
week.
All
And
right.
it's also not going to be 10 weeks. It's probably going to be about 15 weeks, 15 Saturdays.
And how many people how many children you think you'll get in it?
I'm hoping to get 100. I don't
100,
see no
okay.
reason why not.
Okay.
Because it'll be kindergarten through 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
So we're hoping to,
So it'll open up and get a bigger.
we're hoping to get more kids involved that
Okay,
way.
good.
As far as our parks, they're in really good shape. The grass is getting green now after some rain. If you go up to Berry Ann Park, Bakers were up there earlier this week. They cleaned up the parking lot on the left where the trees were hanging over from the property line there. I talked to the owner and told him that we'll be going up and trimming back some trees, which we did. Tony Williams is busy. It just continues to be that way as long as the weather is nice. The town field this year is being used more than most years with soccer, lacrosse, school, and then also some events. Picnic tables were delivered down there last week. The plan is for Stephen and Brandon to go there tomorrow and stain. I already have the stain. As long as the weather's halfway decent tomorrow, they should be able to knock that out. And, we'll get a clear coat on those tables to hopefully it'll last longer. You mentioned, Dave, thanks for your help with the truck. And I think that's it, really. I mean, I know the blacktop's on here, on your agenda. I'm hoping
Yeah.
to get that done, so it's up to you guys to decide.
There's one more thing that we can do together.
Yes.
Tomorrow, the cameras
Yes.
are getting installed.
Oh, good, good.
Yep.
They're gonna be
Okay,
tomorrow,
great.
they'll be installed for the equipment, and I'll do the cameras.
And
We're
we
gonna
put-
meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
How many are we putting up, 2 or?
2 out there now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be a good test case for the other.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, anybody have questions?
Yes. They're going to use those tables on Saturday for the Scarecrow event. So if it's a little damp, is that stuff going to dry?
Yeah, I mean, I used
Okay.
stains in the past, and as long as it's 70-some degrees, it should dry within a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to buy scarecrow
I got
stickers.
you, I got you.
Frankie, as far as, you mentioned it's on the agenda, blacktopping the Tony Williams Field. Can we wait another year? I mean, we're talking $50,000.
I believe we just got to get it done. I mean, this is going on 2-3 years.
Well, you have it done. It's almost done. All it has to do is be blacktop.
Blacktop, right. But correct me if I'm wrong, the money that we're talking about is capital money, correct? Capital reserve money, right?
Because we had the discussion, Richie got us the estimate, Mike. So we had the discussion with Richie, should we wait until next year? He believes the price is gonna go up.
A bunch.
He thinks it's gonna go from like 50 to 70, or somewhere in that
It's
vicinity.
51 now, and he said it'll be a minimum of 68,000 next year.
Because I was thinking, we have a lot of money already invested in that, grading it and we're talking about, the budget, okay, but.
Right, this is,
But we
this,
have it, we have it
Capital
covered.
project.
we already had this
we have it covered in
We'd
the
already had allocated
2024
money
budget.
for this.
It's not gonna affect 2025 budget.
Right, it's not gonna affect 2025.
Unless we do it in 2025.
Right, and as I said, the price is gonna go up, and it also will enable Frank to now move the lines, because the spot they put in there, you could probably fit 40 to 50 cars in there. When you reline the parking lot, you'll be able to fit the 66 that we had planned on, because you gotta move one set of lines over, there. So I'm for just getting it done, because Richie, who knows more about paving and asphalt than me, says it's gonna go up again next year pretty drastically. So, because we had that debate. Him and I talked, or Lenny talked the other day, just to try and say, okay, do we really need, same question, do we need to do it this year? So,
I just want to, when we've done other improvements, whether it be Tony Williams 15 years ago with the garage building and the dugouts, the playground up at Berry Ann Park, when we did the parking lot up there, and now with the parking lot here and also with the pavilion, most of that money is coming in through, builders and developers, and it's not necessarily the recreation buildings and grounds
Right,
budget.
rec fees.
Right,
most
it's
of
not out of general budget, it's out of rec fees, it's recreation reserve. That's where this comes from, right?
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you.
it. Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
Okay, town clerk, Wendy? Get a couple items on here?
Yeah, I just want to, people ask us when we close for training, either once a month or every other month, so in September, our training was with New York State Gaming Commission to discuss charitable gaming laws. A lot of people don't know that we do the licenses for bingo and bell jar and all of that. And it came up that there's a lot of illegal gaming going on. It is not my responsibility to chase these people down.
Yeah,
But the clerks had a lot of questions about that. So that was one thing. And then October, we get our training on our brand-new tax program, which
Okay.
most of us are not happy about. But it will be a full day of training, learning how to use the program before taxes start in January.
Thanks for sharing that.
You're not happy about the new program itself?
Correct. It does not have a lot of the abilities our current program has. The benefit of it will be that, like your school taxes, you can go to InfoTax online and look up your school taxes. This new program will allow that. But it will not allow us to look at previous years when people go, oh, what did I pay in '23? I don't know, you have to call the county.
Really?
So,
yeah, a lot of the control goes to the county. The problem is the way that they set it up. It almost said all the towns had to go to it kind of because of.
right. There were a couple of towns that one town had their own program designed,
Right,
which I'm sure was very expensive.
right.
And one town has a different program and they're staying with theirs, but the majority of us, I think 90% of us,
Right, I think 25 of the 27 towns went.
yeah, that's a big majority. And the other thing, when you talk about the cap and how it affects us, so small things like our hunting and fishing licenses, DEC used to give us a printer and vellum paper. Well, they did away with that, and we now have to print on our own paper, and every license requires 3 sheets of paper. You might not think it's a lot, but it adds up. It does add up. So, oops, sorry.
Okay, is that it?
That's it,
Anybody
yep.
have questions for Wendy? Okay, we'll move on to water and sewer with Adam.
Good evening. Adam Littman, Administrator of Town of Lloyd Water and Sewer. So I don't really have a lot to talk about, so I'll try and just get through it kind of quickly. Our water production still remains the same. 90% is coming from the river. Our wells are still back online. We're not having any issues with them, so that's where our remaining 10% comes from. Our production time is still averaging about 10 hours per day. Most recently, Frank Palmetier and Kenny Southworth finished rebuilding the second sludge pump for the backwash tank. We have both of those pumps now running at 100%. We seem to be having less problems with transferring sludge from the tank to the centrifuge. What we're finding is, and what I believe, is the materials for the rotors and stators that we're buying for them do not last as long. They are made of stainless and some other hard contents. They're not lasting as long. Whereas if the first set might have lasted 20 years, or whatever it was, or 15 years, the second set only lasted us 4 to 5. That was part of the issue with us being able to pump sludge, and probably also the belly and the pipe that's underneath the tank. But right now it's working, so I'm happy to report that.
Is there a better brand or a better, something that's more hardened than what you have now that we could look at?
For the equipment we have, probably not. We are buying the better quality material. While we're trying to buy the better quality materials, they're kind of a single source outdated item.
Right.
Someday, as we look into the future, possibly upgrades and doing some things, we would probably look to see if there's a different type of pump. As you know, with our filters and clarifier systems, we use coal. So, and part of the backwash system, some of the coal carries out, so it's very abrasive. So it's actually eating up the rotors and stators of the pump quickly or more quicker than what it has in the past. So we're not getting a lot of hours out of them. All right, moving on to the road crew. They've done a few service connections last month. Lots of markouts again. They also worked with the highway department to repair some of the blacktops in the areas where we did service connections. They've been doing a lot of mowing. There was a brief period of time where it dried up a little bit. Now it's turning green again. I'm happy to report Mr. Rockwell has returned back to work this week.
That's great.
I don't see Frank. I did speak with John about trying to reclaim some of the sand on the beach up here at Berry Ann Park, so we're hoping to get to that in a couple days.
Okay.
The light poles are definitely in the future. Sewer department, our daily operations continue as usual. They're preparing for the winter season. Typically this time of the year, they clean out and inspect all the tanks. They make sure that no repairs need to be made before it gets too cold. Hoping our new dump truck will be in service next week. Projects, the one that's been kicking around, the river intake, marine diving service completed the inspection and cleaning last week. I'm very happy with their services. Employee updates, Kenny
Yeah, hey,
Southwood.
on that river intake, and I know you and I talked a little earlier just for the town board's info. For one, it came in at the low end of the estimate.
It did.
It came in at 8,000. The other thing I think that was important is with the sonar, et cetera, they were able to give you a better idea of what everything looked like, and
Yeah.
they were able to map it out a little better for you.
Yes. Not so much for me, but
Okay.
in the report, which I did kind of send to everybody, where you can actually get an idea of what he's looked at. He's provided us with the exact depth, GPS locations, which is something that I'm always asked of. It's out there. It's very hard to identify when you don't have them.
Right.
You know, and he's kind of given us a detailed report where he describes a lot of things, he explains a lot of stuff, he tells us the condition of it. He did send me some sonar pictures. It looks like a mass at the bottom of the river. He identifies 4 objects that are alongside of it. The fish are about 4 feet long. Those you can see. So,
Yeah.
I
Must be
thought that was
sturgeons.
pretty neat.
Sturgeon, right?
Yeah.
Probably. So, but I'm very happy with his services. He did actually provide us a really good service.
Is this going to be a yearly thing, or?
I believe it should be done on a yearly basis like we had done in the past, now that we've gotten past the hiccup of finding somebody that will present a price, show up and do the job. And I think he's proven that he can. I also asked him, our small intake screen on number 5, it's allowing a bunch of eels to pass through, which is becoming a problem. So I asked him if he was in the area to take a look at that and let me know what he thinks.
Where is that exactly?
It's on the backside of Reservoir number 5. If you go across the
okay.
earthen dam, there's 4 railroad ties that stick
Okay.
up, or not ties, but like the metal. There's an intake there. I believe the screen is probably deteriorated, so the eels are getting in.
Yeah.
No, they don't get past the
Creeks here.
pump, and unfortunately, it's kind of gross, but the guys have a great time pulling them out. So, again, so employee updates, Kenny Southworth, he passed his Department of Health walkthrough, and he possesses his distribution license. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, that's great.
Very
That's a great
good.
accomplishment.
I sent everybody an email earlier last week, and as far as a job posting, I would like to move forward with that. If you've all had a chance to review it, if you approve, it's budget supported. This would be a job posting to get Mr. Southworth from a laborer to a maintenance worker position. So if you would like to take a couple minutes to review that email and the job posting, if you'd like to let me know what direction we can go, I would
Okay.
greatly appreciate that.
I'll look at it.
One of the other updates is Thomas McGovern sat for his DEC exam today. I haven't spoken to him. I'm hoping he passed. That's a very difficult test. Any questions?
No, it's good to see people increasing their skill base, so.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay, okay, I think that's it for the department head reports. We move forward, old business, I didn't have anything on here, but I just wanted to mention to the town board that, you know, we had Barton LaJudas on at our last meeting, and they presented, I just sent you, it was like late today. They sent us a list of options on what was talked about, so I just asked the town board to look through it, because we're gonna be at a decision point pretty soon. Okay? Moving forward, new business, and we're gonna give Barbara Gavin, if you don't know, Barbara's right there, she's starting up a new Lions Club and wanted to inform the board, you know, of you know, what they're about, what they do, so we'll give her a few minutes to introduce what she wants to do for us, for the town.
Because I printed out everything for you,
Okay,
because I know you're busy.
yep, no problem, thank you.
Good evening, members of the town board. My name is Barbara Gavin, I'm Cass Street Governor, and I'm in the process of the establishment of the Lions Club in the town of Lloyd. As part of the Lions International, one of the world's largest service organizations, our mission would like to unite members of the community to address local needs through hands-on service and fundraising. By informing the Lions Club here, we can create opportunities for volunteerism that directly impact Lloyd, where it's supporting local families, assisting our schools, and improving public spaces. Lions Clubs have a long-standing tradition of making meaningful contributions to their communities. I am confident that we can bring the same spirit and service and the leadership to Lloyd that we have throughout the world and locally. I hope to work closely with the town board and community leaders to make this a reality. Together we can build a strong, service-oriented organization that will enrich our town and empower residents to give back. In front of you, I gave each of you a packet. The other thing that I would like is that the 3 index cards. One is your name and contact information. The second one would be 3 people who you think might be interested in becoming a Lion. And the third card being your passion. What do you think, you know, what's your passion? Are you an ET person, a quilt person, a woodworker? Or what do you bring, you know, to the community, and what do you expect the Lions back to you? And we have another informational meeting set up for October 23rd at the American Legion at 7 o'clock. So I'd like each of you to come and learn more about the different types of clubs that we have, because we are different than what you were years ago. We're no longer your daddies and grandpa's Lions. We're up with the ages, virtual and things like that. So, and we even start out with the kids 5 years and up. So we have cub clubs right on through to the traditional. So at that meeting, we'll go into a little more detail of what
When
they
is that again?
have. October 23rd on a Wednesday at
Oh, okay.
7 at the American Legion.
Okay,
So we will go into a little more detail and explain what we have, but I think pretty much here you have an idea of what we do as Lions. And that's, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity and the time to address each of you.
okay, my works, I don't know if there's a question, you have a question for?
Not a question. I did, was it you that I received a voicemail from? Okay, I'm going to get you a contact person for probably I would imagine the superintendent secretary, only because, you know, I wouldn't set something up through the school. You would just kind of have to go through the school with that. So I'll get you a contact person in
We didn't know
regards to.
who to contact. What
Yeah,
it was
that's-
about was we like to screen children for vision, because 80% of the learning is through visual. So we screen for lazy eye, nearsightedness, farsightedness, a bunch of other things. We're 3 feet from the children, it's a path to refer. And if they need glasses or help, we're here to help. So that was what our conversation was.
Yep,
and
you
that's what
actually
we'd like
had
to do.
came to, I'm at Ulster BOCES.
Okay.
So you came last year to do the screenings on our little ones. I mean, they might have been a little bit, more difficult to sit still, but
Yeah,
it
well, we can
was,
do
it
like
was
6
successful.
months to 6 years old, but we'd like to do kindergarten and first grade because they're the most easy to correct. Okay, anything else?
Barbara, how is your meeting being communicated? Because to be honest, tonight's the first time I've heard anything about it.
Okay, well, that's what we're working on. We've been having classes at Zoom classes and things on new members and new clubs. And by the 23rd, we will have a Facebook page, I will have a QR code, and ways to communicate with everyone. So if between now and then I can get your information, we'll be able to notify you, and then when the page is up and available. So we'll be able to share with other organizations, other businesses, the information of what we do and what they do, and hopefully we can mesh together. Because we have a thing called Together. So it's a 501(c), and us, when we work together, you are under our liability insurance. So there's things that we can do that you have not done in the past.
Right. Good. Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good luck, thank you. Okay, we'll move forward on the agenda.
Privilege of the floor, could I have a moment?
Yes, we're gonna move forward to privilege of the floor, yeah. You want
Thank
a
you.
moment? Go ahead.
I would just like to say to everybody that my son William has taken on this ordeal to get blankets and pillows for the people of Western North Carolina. It all came about yesterday afternoon. As of last night, we have a tremendous amount of stuff at the American Legion. I'd like to thank John Gallagher and the Legion for allowing us to use that spot to sort of put everything together. I'd also like to thank Wendy and John Freno for their contributions of blankets and pillows. We will be at the Legion tonight from the time I leave here until 8 o'clock. And if you have some blankets or pillows and you want to bring them down, my number is 914-474-7050. I will stay there as long as possible because the truck is going to leave tomorrow morning. So again, my phone number is 914-474-7050. Anything you could bring down would be gratefully, gratefully appreciated. Those people are in dire need of blankets and pillows. Some of them are sleeping under made-up tents. So, and if I could get Mr. Reynolds to maybe stop by the American Legion on his way home and take a picture of what we've already, and I want to thank the residents of town of Lloyd. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, thanks, it's a great gesture, great, and I have a truckload I'm gonna follow you down on with. So,
Thank you.
okay, we'll move forward. Anybody else for privilege to the floor tonight? Okay, if not, we're gonna move forward to the motions and resolutions. Resolution A is local law being proposed as local law G, and this is to override the tax levy limit, per general municipal law section 3, and the board desires to hold a public hearing, and the public hearing will be held by town board on October 30th of 2024 at 4 p.m. And resolved that the town clerk has hereby directed and authorized to cause public said notice to be given as provided by law. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Question.
Yeah.
Are we voting on to override the budget or to have the public hearing?
This first resolution here is for the public hearing. Yeah. To set a public hearing. That's resolution A.
Okay, because I was confused, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion? You want to do a roll call, Winnie?
Freno,
Yes.
Bobcheck.
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Okay, so public hearing set for the 30th. Now, this second, okay, and then you see the local law there. Okay, then resolution B is to approve the following budget amendments, and you can see them on the next page, can I get a motion for the budget amendments?
These are the trucks that Dave Barton talked about.
Motion.
Okay,
Second.
Wendy.
Frano,
Any discussion first? Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Plavcheck, Akmoody.
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, and then resolution C is to authorize the purchase for the building department of a 2025 F-150 for $47,735 from Van Porto Ford using New York State bid. The purchase will be spread over 5 years with annual payments. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Wendy, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Frano,
Yes.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody.
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, a resolution D, and this is for the buildings and grounds truck, and it's a 2025 Ford F-250, again, using the state bid. The purchase, same will be spread over 5 years. The purchase price includes a plow package and tow package, and a 9-foot straight plow, which will be purchased separately. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Frano, Plavcheck.
Yes.
Akmoody.
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution E is to utilize absolute auctions and realty for the auction of the 3 vehicles listed here. One's Explorer and the 2 F-150s with no fee to the town, so hopefully we'll recoup some money that we can put into.
Motion.
Second.
Second, Tiffany? Okay, any discussion?
Frano,
Yes.
Plavcheck.
Yes.
Akmoody.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, and I think F is the bond that Richie was talking about, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And this is a bond resolution for the town of Lloyd adopted tonight, October 2nd, authorizing the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $450,000 to finance in part the acquisition of 2 trucks for use by the highway department. The estimated maximum cost of $540,000 and appropriating said amount for such purpose, including expenditure of $90,000 of unexpended available funds to offset the cost, part of that cost. So we go on, and I won't read it word for word, but the town board, by favorable vote, of course, as follows. Section 1, the town board, County of Ulster, will issue bonds that not to exceed $450,000 for the acquisition of 2 trucks. The estimated maximum cost will be, including preliminary and other costs, $540,000. Plan for financing includes the expenditure of $90,000 of available funds. Again, the principal amount of $450,000. The period of the following additional matters are hereby determined. Probable use is 15 years. The proceeds of the bond anticipated may be applied to reimburse the town for expenditures made after the effective date. The proposed maturity will be 5 years. Each bond, authorized, will contain the validity as prescribed in section 52 of the general law, with general obligations to the town. The faith and credit of the town are hereby irrevocably pledged for punctual payments, and authorization and payments are due payable in such year. Section 5 is the subject of provisions to section 21, which again basically is about the debt service of the bonds and the powers of the town board to authorize them. Section 6 is the validity of the sale. of the bonds and the obligations of the town. And Section 7 is subject to permissive referendum by the town clerk. It's hereby authorized directed within 10 days after the adoption of this resolution is to publish or cause in full the official newspaper of the town having a general circulation and posted on a signboard of the town maintained pursuant to town law. And the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed after said bond resolution shall take effect to cause the bond resolution be published in summary in the official newspaper of the town, having a general circulation within the town, provided by section 81 of town law. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Farino,
Yes.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution G, to accept the resignation of part-time dispatcher Richard Fair with the recommendation of Chief James Ansell.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Resolution H, whereas the town of Lloyd wishes to complete the Lewis DeStacy Pavilion, the next step is to pour the concrete slab for the bathrooms. Councilman Frano has requested quotes from the following: Atlantic Concrete, Trueform DNA, and Anthony Say Concrete. He had a couple that responded and said they wouldn't be bidding, and the others did not submit a proposal. He got one quote for $16,000 from Atlantic Concrete. Now therefore be it resolved to award the project for the concrete slab at the DeSacy Pavilion to Atlantic Concrete at a cost of $16,000. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Okay, Wendy. Any discussion? No discussion? Then we'll move forward. Vote.
We're missing one.
One of the concrete people?
No. Well, let's get through this and I'll bring it.
Okay, Farino,
Yes.
Plavcheck.
Yes.
Akmoody,
Yes.
Guerrero, Rizzo.
Yes.
Mike, you said yes?
Yes.
Okay. What am I missing?
No, I don't see, we had also a resolution to buy the pipe.
It's later.
It's
I put the resolutions on as I receive
Separate
them,
ones, yeah.
so it's just
You gotta
separate.
read ahead.
Back there, I didn't see it. I didn't read
It's on,
it. Sorry.
it's on there.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
I want to
Okay.
make, before you go into these next two resolutions, just make a comment on them that Dave had brought up.
Okay.
And when I sent out the emails to you with these applications to do door-to-door, I also said that the law is a little bit old and needs to be reviewed. One of the parts of the law where it requires them to put up a $5,000 bond,
All right.
which is a lot. I didn't ask for it until they were approved, then I would ask for it, just like I don't cash their checks unless they're approved.
Right.
But, I mean, they do provide certificates of insurance at the town requirements, so that, I don't know, that's a Sean question.
What's that?
Did they, with the insurance, do they really need to put up a bond?
I didn't look at the law. If the law requires a bond, they
Oh, I
probably
see.
should
Right.
put up a bond or a letter of credit,
Right.
or cash bond. I'd have to look at it. I would agree that maybe it's outdated. I mean, I haven't looked at that law in a long time.
So I know for sure that one of them will walk away when I require the bond from them, and possibly the other one. So, we actually had 3 people in this week asked to do this, and one of them decided not to. Okay.
Okay,
yes.
so right now, by the letter of the law, then we can't do these resolutions, if that's what you tell.
Subject to.
Subject to the
You could
bond.
approve it subject to meeting the bond requirement of the law to
Oh, okay.
supply a bond.
We can do that, okay. Okay, so we'll change this a bit then. So resolution I is to approve the application of Trinity Solar to go door to door to solicit leads for purchase of solar provider installation, provided they have the bond per
Subject
town
to the
law.
bond, yeah.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Okay, I'll second. I'm sorry, I was just taking a note.
Okay.
Second.
Any further discussion on this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Okay, and resolution J is the same
I'm
thing.
sorry, Tiffany, what did you vote?
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yes, so
Everybody
4-1,
said
okay.
Yes, Mike Bova, no. To approve the application of Sunrun to go door to door to solicit leads, again, provided they have a bond. They provide the bond as required. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
You're so stubborn tonight.
Can I get a second? Okay, all in favor on this one?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Okay. Okay, Resolution K is to approve the following budget amendments to 2024 budget, and you can see there, a couple in the sewer department, water department. So these, again, just a balance that Kendra's put up, working with Adam. So can I get a resolution to approve the following budget amendments for 2024?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, we want to do a roll call, Wendy?
Farino,
Yes.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody, Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay,
This one you-
Resolution L, we're gonna not do tonight there. We need some more description from Central Hudson on the actual right-of-way and what area they're looking at. They didn't provide that yet, so we're gonna skip that one. And we're gonna go on to Resolution M. And this is to waive the pay to park from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the Walktoberfest. Walkway over the Hudson will pay the town of Lloyd in advance $750 per day for the 2-day event, so $1,500 for loss of parking fee revenue at the recommendation of the town of Lloyd Board.
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this?
Farino,
Yes.
Yes.
Akmoody.
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution N is to authorize the purchase of materials for the installation of plastic and copper lines below the concrete floor at the DeSazy Pavilion. Materials to be purchased by the town from NS Supply at a wholesale price. And the work to be performed by Anthony Giangrosso, who will be working as town employee, and one helper. Total labor and materials not to exceed $3,500.
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Wendy. No discussion?
No discussion, you're good?
It says here that Anthony, where are we here? Anthony
N.
will be working as a town employee.
Yes.
So what is that? Is he getting paid a town wages, or he's getting, he's getting paid part of the contract?
No, he's getting paid, his working day will consist of putting the pipe in,
Okay,
his normal salary.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
any other discussion, any other questions?
This has got to be done before they pour the floor.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Farino,
Yes.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody.
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
And that work should be, Anthony thinks he should get it done next week, and we're hoping Thursday or Friday I'll notify the Atlantic Concrete, and we'll get that piece done.
Okay, good.
And P&G Electric, as part of a previous estimate they gave us, he has to run an electric line, but that's already been approved,
Okay.
and
Okay, Resolution O is to hire Callahan Industries under the New York State contract group, bid to furnish and install 2.5-inch, 25 mm super paved binder course, all labor, equipment, material, and trucking for the new parking area at Tony Williams Park at a cost of $51,937.50 to be funded by recreation reserves. Can I get a motion?
motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? You're Wendy with roll call.
Farino, Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody.
Yes.
Guerrero,
No.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay. And the resolution P is to approve the following funds to be moved from the recreation reserves. to the capital expenditure for the capital improvements of park per contract 31502. Can I get a motion for that?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, Wendy?
Frano,
Yes.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody,
Yes.
Guerrero,
No?
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. And then, motion Q. This many for a while. Okay, this is where the town of town of Lloyd board, as commissioners of the Highland Water District, previously authorized an application and received a grant through the hazard mitigation program. I believe it was $810,000. Yeah. For a generator at the water treatment plant. The town was, okay, it's on here, $810,000. I didn't read ahead. Where CPL architects, engineers, planners assisted with a grant application, prepared the conceptual plan, and they've submitted to the town a proposal to provide the design, bidding, and construction services for that generator. And the town board wishes to award the contract to CPL for the price of $72,975. Work constitutes a type 2 action under state seeker, and such the town board has no further responsibility under the act. And therefore be it resolved by the town board, as Commissioners of Highland Water approves, accepts a proposal from CPL in the amount of $72,975, and the town supervisor is authorized to enter into that agreement for the work to be done pursuant to the grant award. So this would be part of the grant. This would be paid for out of the grant. So can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Okay, well, roll call.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Frano,
Yes.
Akmoody, you knew I'd mess up, Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Slipped up a little there, huh?
See if we're paying attention. That's what you were doing.
Okay, Resolution R. On August 2nd, 2024, the Crest Group, on behalf of Highland on Hudson LLC, applied to the Town Lloyd Board for a rezoning of SBL 88.17-4-6.1 to allow multifamily housing on a parcel in a planned unit development pursuant to Section 123 of the Town Lloyd zoning code. And whereas this parcel is located in a single-family residential 2-acre zoning district where multifamily housing is not an allowed use. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Lloyd Board has determined pursuant to the zoning code that Highland on Hudson LLC's PUD application does not merit review, and accordingly that it will not be considered. Can I get a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, why don't you roll call this one too, Wendy?
As Commissioner.
Frano,
Yes.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Okay, and Resolution S is another resolution to waive the pay the park fee for Haviland Road from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. for Alzheimer's Walk, and the Alzheimer's Walk will pay $500 to the Town of Lloyd for loss of parking fee revenue at the recommendation of the Town Lloyd Board. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Anything else from the town board? Or-
Just, if you got blankets or pillows, I'll be at the American Legion till 8.
Yeah, Mark.
I wonder with that resolution R, could you offer a little bit more of why it does not merit review? Do you have a little bit more explanation?
Yeah, it's basically where the area is on the bluff and the ability for that area to handle the traffic and the intensity and some of the drainage issues we've had in that area in the past I polled the town board, and most of us just don't think it's a good idea or viable to put 134 units there. I don't know if any other town board wants to comment, but that was my take from talking to everybody. It's just an area where, you know, it's a single road and it's,
Right.
has a fork there that's not that great.
I follow you. Thank you.
And at peak, what was it, 132 cars
Yeah, it'd be more than that.
additional
Yeah, it'd be more than that probably.
per hour
Yeah.
during peak hours.
Okay, anything else? If not, I know, Sean, we have, I need a motion to go in executive session to discuss a piece of litigation.
Second.
Okay,
Sorry.
all in favor? Okay, so
Aye.
we're going in at 5:05, Wendy.
Is that Scarecrow this Saturday? What time?
Thank you, and good luck, Barbara.
Yeah, I do have a truckload of stuff, Wendy.
Okay. Where are you gonna put them all together, and then you're gonna put them up? Okay.
While we're clearing out.
Oh, right. It's supposed to be right.
You don't need to move.
Yeah, how long are you gonna be at this? 10 minutes. Is there anybody down there now? He said that one on the lakes that were across the street, they had one thing.
Yeah, they always, all the Christmas decorations, that was the line to get.
I take it rain or shine, Tiffany?
Yes, actually, I think we have a rain date of the 6th.
Okay.
I think we do have a rain date, but we're just not really
What's your
planning
number,
on it.
just in case I need to check with you?
845